Y'all, India is no joke. I mean, you need to start a year in advance. The paperwork, the visas, finally, all to get our passports back with this little tiny sticker in it that says Visa, you're okay to go to India.
I've never been so sure that this is how I'm gonna die. So trying to shoot video out of a moving car like that, where you're dodging cattle and people and motorcyclists, it's pretty impossible. But we are driving through like this amazingly beautiful part of the world that's completely untouched by time. So I took that opportunity to get some really, really beautiful stills.
So we'd had some exposure to Sachin's sort of celebrity when we were in India a few years earlier with Virat Kohli. And the best way to explain Virat and Sachin is if Virat is LeBron, then Sachin's the Michael Jordan of cricket.
Of course, everyone was happy that I was already at the age of 16, I was playing for India, and my father clearly told me that what you are doing at the age of 16, not many children in the world do that. So my father said, "Ki he devane dilili gift hai, so this is a God's gift. Don't take things for granted."
This is a guy who has been famous since he was in high school. He had police guards outside his exam room as he's taking tests. So that just kind of gives context as to why he is the way he is. You imagine being famous for that long?
That dude is literally revered as like a god in that country.
What I most remember from the conversation with Sachin is just how guarded he was. And on one hand, that's really tough. On the other hand, you appreciate the fact that he never does interviews, certainly long form ones, had never had media at his home before. And you realize just how grateful you are for the opportunity to capture what we did.
I knew that that was my last World Cup in India, a big moment for all of us. And you know, what better than lifting the trophy in India itself?
I thought it was an amazing experience, and you realize you're having the opportunity to tag along with one of the country's most revered figures in places we'd never been, and a front row seat.
To move this guy, you need the national military, you need government agents, you need government approval. And we are supposed to go all over India in a motorcade with this guy. I think we had more than 20 vehicles.
It was a crazy few days. We're with Sachin in Mumbai one day.
We would sometimes flatten the tires and all those kind of things, which I shouldn't be saying on camera, but...
Then the next day we have a crack of dawn flight a few hours away to Indore.
Good morning.
Hi, good to see you.
Land there, drive a few hours to a school, spend time there, then drive a few more hours to a really remote village.
For his foundation, he was building a school in a certain remote part of India. We go inside, then I'm told we may have to leave at a moment's notice because the crowds forming outside the gates were getting too large and they didn't think that this amount of security would be able to contain it. Someone just happens to say to me in a very nonchalant manner, "Oh, also, there's been a tiger sighted on the loose less than an hour from here." Is that by car? Is that by foot? Is that by tiger time?
You don't fully appreciate the need for security until you need security.
We had like security dudes holding hands around our camera crew and audio crew, and they're like trying to pour through there to like touch him, and it's pretty gnarly.
You just gotta get out, and gotta get out quickly for your own safety. I still vividly remember like Seth, our DP, pretty much running and jumping in the back of the van to get out of the last location.
But shout out to our crew in India, they were awesome. Would not have gotten the episode without them.
When you're with Sachin and you're traveling around with him, you are treated like absolute royalty. Everyone in the group is. The country is so kind, so welcoming. They are just such wonderful people, and they want to give you everything. So they brought us in for a lunch that they had prepared locally for us.
This is what we call chutney, lasnichi chutney. That is garlic, the red spices, which is made of chilies. So it adds a bit of spice, which I would suggest you don't try now.
I can't even tell you how many pill bottles I had because they said, your system is probably not used to what you're going to eat over there. Graham noticed I wasn't eating the lunch that was prepared for us. He mentioned something to Sachin, and Sachin said, here, please try this. When Sachin asks you to try something, you eat it. It tasted great, but I was very concerned for the after effects. I made it back to tell the tale. That's all we need to know.